This is Professor at MoneyPigTrading, former PhD drug discovery researcher and a data scientist in fintech for 5 years and now a trader. So today, February 8, 2021, we're going to talk about TGTX, TG Therapeutics, their FDA approval on Ukoniq for the leukemia, which is MZL and FL diseases, and what is next. So of course, first we want to congratulate TG Therapeutics for all the hard work, and also the doctors and patients. Now they have a new option for these critical diseases. So the next slides, we're going to highlight the 2021 biotech play we have so far. We're hitting on J&J with a really nice return on 215%. Last 2 weeks, we have AUPH. We have 51% on our call options. And this TGTX, luckily, we got 100% return. And the last figure is just some of our J&J call options play. So just to highlight the TG Therapeutics, so it's a young company founded in 2021 and very ambitious with a lot of pipelines and based in New York. Basically what they do is focus on B cells, cancer, and autoimmune diseases. And their diseases that they're trying to target are highlighted below in the table. And the Ukoniq medicine got approved for 2 diseases, which is MZL, marginal zone lymphoma, and follicular lymphoma. One thing I want to highlight is this peak sale column, which I will explain in more details. And existing therapies include their competitions and also the other alternative options of treatment. So 2021 and 2022 are really big years for TG Therapeutics. Luckily, they got approved last Friday for this medicine for MZL. And actually, we're expecting the other decision in June 2021 for FL. But FDA just made a decision to approve both diseases at the same time last Friday. And also, the result actually come out early. It was scheduled, the deadline is February 15, which is Washington State, it's a U.S. federal holiday. So I assume FDA, because of that, they decided to announce the results about 1 week earlier. And also, TGTX have a big decision coming possibly late 2021 for the CLL disease that they're trying to target. So I attended the TGTX conference call after the drug approval. So some keynotes I would like to share is first, they're ready to launch in-house and available. The medicine will be available in the specialty pharmacy by next week. So ASAP, really amazing. And they also mentioned there's no logistic or manufacturing challenges associated with COVID-19, so no more delay, at least from COVID. But when I hear about this news, my first intuition is the stock price is going to pull back. Because for this early type of pharmaceutical companies, we would like to hear there are some partnerships, because launching a new drug is actually very difficult. Doctors might not be able to take or might not want to take this or try this new drug. You need a lot of sales power to persuade doctors and make sure your medicine the medical field are aware of this new medicine. So you need to put a lot of marketing efforts. So it's actually a cash burner to launch a sales pipeline by yourself. So when I hear that, my first intuition is they probably need to raise more cash to sustain all these sales efforts, either through bonds or one of the most common way is common stock offering, which will dilute the shares and pull down the share price in the short term. And I think that's one of the reasons possibly that TGTX actually pulled back from the high pre-market $59 to at some point $51 or $52 today. They also mentioned this Ukoniq, will charge $15,900 for 30-day supplies, which I really like that price because it's lower than most of the comparable drugs. And they also mentioned they'll submit the phase 4 confirmatory trials ASAP, probably later 2021. What it means is this priority review. In that case, FDA usually want to see pharmaceutical companies to do a phase 4 trial to make sure their medicine really meet the efficacy of what they claim that it should be. So that's kind of expected. And I won't be surprised if they pass phase 4 trials very soon, probably in 2022 or 2023. And the other thing is most of the Wall Street analysts who cover TGTX, like Jefferies, JP Morgan, HC Wainwright, and B. Riley, they all attended the conferences, this conference, and asked good question. The other thing about this drug is they might put a black box warning. They didn't provide a clear answer for that one. Whether that will affect how much the doctor want to use this drug or not, we have to see how the sales go, probably in the next 1 or 2 earning calls. The other thing I think the CEO mentioned is the TG1101 for CLL. They plan to submit for FDA decision as soon as possible in the first half of 2021. If they can submit it early enough this year, they say they can possibly get FDA decision by the end of this year, if not early next year. So I think that'll be a really big catalyst on the horizon. And in the intraday today, HC Wainwright, which is a hedge fund, maintained TGTX a buy and a price target of $79, which is a really good sign. So what is next? So I showed you this table about the diseases they're trying to target. Currently, the price of the stock is $52 a share, so that's about $7 billion valuation. Usually for early stage biopharmaceutical company, what we can do is we can add it up all their peak sale numbers, and then we can multiply by 5. That's their kind of like fair valuation. Some people multiply by 4, but I think 5 is a fair number. If there's acquisition, I usually multiply by 6. I know some people use more aggressive number. There's just really no like a solid line here and there, like whether you should multiply by 4, 5, 6, or even more. But in that case, I use 5. So since they actually have MZL and FL approved, the peak sales actually $0.5 billion estimated, of course. For CLL, their estimated peak price is about $1.2 billion. So since this Ukoniq can be used on FL and MZL now, they also have a clinical trial for CLL. I just assume that this drug has been proven safe and pretty effective in MZL and FL. Hypothetically, it should work in CLL. So in that case, in total, we should get $1.2 billion plus $0.5 billion peak sale. Multiplied by 5, that should get a $8.5 billion valuation. That will be equal to our price target that we mentioned in the previous video, which is $61 a share. However, I think the biggest catalyst for TGTX is MS, which is their TG1101 monoclonal antibody. If they can really get a good clinical trial results and get an FDA approval, the peak sale for that disease is $2.2 billion itself. By doing the math, just like what we did before, it will make it to $140 a share. However, if there's an acquisition case, we're going to multiply by 6 instead of 5. That possibly will make TGTX to $70-ish if we get CLL approved. If we can get both CLL and MS approved, it should get around 170 if it is an acquisition case. So the long term is I'm still super bullish on TGTX. And like I mentioned today, the price pulled back from the pre-market high $59 to $52.43 at closing. I do think the EMA support is holding right now, but if they, again, like they do any common stock offering, potentially in the short term, it's going to pull back the price on the stock. And if we're looking at February 19, 2021, a call option open interest, which means option traders are betting on bullish price action on the stock of TGTX. And we can see there are some volumes here. I think there are some people adding some calls, while some people are taking profits like myself. Also, I think the market right now is waiting for major hedge fund or investment banks like Jefferies or JP Morgan to upgrade this stock. If they do, I think we're going to see a little bounce of the stock. But again, if there's any common stock offering, that might pull down the price. But in the long run, I'm still personally very bullish on TGTX. Just a disclaimer, I sold all the TGTX call options in February, and right now I'm just holding the stocks for the long-term investment because I'm still very bullish on TGTX. So there are a lot of upcoming biotech play. Last year, US had 53 drug approval, which is a historical level. This year, we'll see. That's why I've been saying this year is a biotech year on top of cryptocurrency, EV, fintech, and green energy. So for the remaining February, we still have GTHX, the RMD, and ATNX FDA decision, and more coming in March, May, or June. So if you like our video, make sure you like our video and follow us on Twitter, YouTube and Instagram on MoneyPigTrading. And if you'd like to check out our Discord education contents and alerts, feel free to check more details on www.moneypigtrading.com. And again, we're not registered financial advisors and registered medical professionals. So this video is just purely for education purposes. Please make your medical and investment decisions at your own risk. And of course, after doing some homework. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. See you. Bye-bye.